The nurses had taken one look at them left standing bewildered beside the ambulance and swept in, waving them off towards the visitors' lobby. Apparently the late hour worked to their advantage. Zayden sat silently slumped next to Lily, wondering what had happened to the guy. Lily shifted restlessly in the chair before saying, "Zayden, I swear I know that guy." "What, really?" Zayden straightened. "Yeah, I know his face, but..." Her voice faded. She put her hands to her temple. Her voice full of frustration, she said, "I just can't remember. I know he is important. Somehow important to me, I mean." Zayden stood, glad to have something to occupy his restless energy. "Come on, maybe they know his name by now." Making their way to the front desk, they asked for any news. The clerk busily typed into his computer for a moment, then once again that flash of light, this time from the direction of the patients' rooms. Zayden watched as a nurse ran by the open hallway door, then a doctor. First one way, then the other. Lily leaned towards the clerk. "Is that normal?" she asked, pointing toward the hall. The man muttered before standing. Lily looked at Zayden in bewilderment. "It was not this hectic when I was here the last time." Sitting down in the chairs that lined the edge of the lobby, they waited again. 10 minutes, then 20, before the clerk came back, looking disgruntled. He glanced at Lily and motioned her over. "If you're still waiting for that guy, he's not here. And no, we don't know where he went." Zayden felt a chill begin to steal over him, as Lily quickly said, "Well, thanks for trying to help." Zayden caught up with her outside. "Don't you want to maybe reach out to the cops?" "No," Lily said. "They would not be any help. They can't even tell me who I am." Zayden could hear the bitterness in her voice. It was so out of character for her, he lapsed into silence, confused as to what to do or say. The alley was dark again by the time they made it back to their tents. The familiar shadows actually bothered Zayden. It was all he could do not to jump out of his skin when the flash of light happened again. This time, though, when the light faded, the man was simply standing in front of them, looking at Lily. "Hey," Lily said, before Zayden could say a thing. "What are you doing here?" "I am here because of you," he said. "We've been looking everywhere for you." "What are you talking about? I don't even know who you are." "It's me. Lucas, how can you not know me? You left for a weekend." He looked so perturbed that Zayden eased his way in front of Lily. "Look, man, she says she doesn't know you, so how about you just back up a little?" Lily stepped up beside him and pointed at the log. "Sit. I have questions for you." Lucas, still looking upset, looked around and sat down on the log. Lily stepped closer to him, examining his face for a moment before moving and sitting down. Zayden was still buzzing with adrenaline from the random light show and chose to remain standing for the time being. "Okay, Lucas," Lily said, "this is your chance. How do you know me?" "I've known you forever, Lily, since we were kids. I can't believe you've been here. Why are you," he waved at the tents, "camping?" "What happened?" Lily shook her head. "Yeah, no, that's not an answer to my question. Who are you and how do you know me? Don't think I didn't see the light show. You're not some innocent friend from my childhood. Explain." He hesitated. "I want to tell you, but..." He motioned convulsively at Zayden. "Does he have to stay?" Lily looked at Zayden, then back at Lucas. Yes, he does." "Okay, fine, I will tell you, but once I do, it's on you that he knows. I have known you since we were kids. Obviously you don't remember, but we had a..." He paused. "A test coming up, and you said you were going to blow off steam. No one from the college knew where you went. They all said you just ran off, said you didn't want to test." Zayden could not help but notice that he seemed to pause before he mentioned anything about Lily's past, like he was trying to hide something about this supposed college. "I knew better, though. I've been looking for you every chance I got. They told me I was wasting my time, but I just knew you didn't just leave." Lily apparently noticed the pauses as well. She leaned back from him. "Still doesn't explain the weird light show." He looked over at Zayden, then back at Lily. "I really cannot explain in front of him." He looked slightly pained as Lily began shaking her head. "Nope. Sorry, Lucas. I can't take this for granted. I admit I do feel like I know you from somewhere, but I really cannot remember if that's a good thing or a bad thing." Lucas lost his relaxed posture at her words. "Fine," he ground out. "Fine, I'll be back as soon as I can. Maybe they will let me explain in more detail if I tell them about you not knowing me. I mean, it's me, for God's sake. If you don't know me, you don't know anything. Will you still be here?" Lily cocked her head to the side, then smiled at him. "Sure, I will be here, but..." If I am not, apparently you can find me anyway. Lucas shook his head at her, giving a smile in return. Well, you are definitely still stubborn as hell. This time, when the light flashed, Zayden could see that it was coming from Lucas, and then Lucas was gone. Blinking his eyes, he looked over at Lily, trying to see her reaction. She just gazed at the now empty spot that Lucas had been in. Lighting the fire, he carefully did not sit on the log that Lucas had been sitting on. Lily finally stirred and said, "There is nothing more comforting than a fire, is there? Especially," she gestured at the empty seat. Shaking her head, she shifted on her seat. "Well, Zayden, seems like this really changes nothing. You still want the bus pass?" It took Zayden a moment to remember why it was important. "Oh, the bees," he said. Lily grinned. "Yeah, the bees."